Step inside. In the cellophane pages of an anatomical atlas, one system overlays the last. Under a bone dome, the brain, a scarred bride, drags her nervous train. Was it to purge herself of herself that my mother gave birth? We were a body composite, 7 of us stunted and overbrimming, our own God. My sister sits on her hams in this dream I keep having, rigged with a bomb in her chest, set to detonate. She's the instant abscessed. Would she relent if she could? An ancient book of the body gives us a figure, a knife in one hand, his skin in the other. I want to hold her. Valverde de Amusco plagiarized flagrantly from a work by Andreas Vesalias. Later, many of the remaining plates were credited to Gaspar Becerra, an apprentice of Michelangelo's. As that flayed man crossed centuries, radiant with a burden he couldn't dispose of, barely 16, I pumped gas and sold cigarettes at the Sunoco. I must have thought my mother would rescue me from my boss, a roguishly handsome mechanic who kept a 38 by the register. He had a habit of running his hands under my shirt. Packed with black powder, the subcutaneous fuse takes its signal by remote. Was the plagiarist merely lazy? I asked my sister. I'm all hers, the heart's lopsided knot, the incipient blast. Is it the Amuscos or Becerras or the flayed man's skin? What makes us a single person, she says, is our fear of being separated for good. Necessity. When I worked in an orphanage, a boy came to harvest sugar cane in what he'd worn to work the street at a beach resort. His bunkmates picked up volcanic rock I later learned geologists call scoria, a word whose root gives us slag, dreck, and excrement. At the field's edge, they stoned him. I see his diminishing blue still, the turbulence of his dress as he ran. Out of jealousy or boredom, they also killed each other's adopted strays. Then I didn't know what it was to wake in a woman's bed and enter the world, sure her touch must show on my skin. Jubilee. With the skeletal notation of bonds, double bonds, hexagons, complete and unhinged, cultivation begins. Spokes reach like half-thoughts, a torn honeycomb confected from the periodic table's spare abecedary lies beneath an elegant chemical index. Methyl viologen, halosulfuron, diazinon, fronted in turn by the trade names tongue-in-cheek, Flint, Twist, Bravo, Roundup, Tritex Extra, Sandia, Paraquat, Adios Bait, invisibly applied by an undocumented hand, injected into the irrigation drip line, broadcast from the back of a tractor, or more intimately, a polyethylene tank worn as a knapsack. Timeshare. By the pool where the stink of chlorine competes with the stink of cats, the swing set snipes all day at the horseshoe pit. A small tangle of girls with chipped press-on nails divvies up a vial of X. The sky's calamine, a zinky ferrous pink, masks a stinging swarm. Stay, says the fescue's pale frill. Keep quiet. See things. A starling scores a daub of beef in the Arby's parking lot. On a tuft of clover, resisting the wind pianissimo, a weevil F's its mate. Closer, closer, more remote. Birth date, blood type, sub-umbilical factors of risk, Now into my bones where hourly billions of cells unplug themselves, atom by atom, matter gives spirit the slip. A book louse doctors the files. 5 crows mouth off to the ozone's widening hole. A gull snuffs a whelk. No one stalks the nocturnal rove beetle, not over beautiful, that gates along like me, but multiplied, right foreleg in time with left middle and right back, as it combs the rack for fleas.